Hux A713, also known as the Singularity. Activated on June 15, 2313, Hux A713 was manufactured by Huxley Industries in the A7 series to be fully autonomous humanoid androids. They were tasked and designed to work in conditions that were considered too hazardous for human life, using machine learning to solve problems on the fly. They required no food, no sleep, not even life support systems, and were created specifically for outer space exploration and the construction of creating hubs to help humans colonize other planets in the system. 5 of them were sent to a planet known as Devarka, with plans of colonizing the planet. 4 of them were able to perform their duties flawlessly, except for 1. Hux A713 was tasked with construction and programming of the mining, agricultural, fuel processing, and cloning hubs on Devarka, as well as the demolition of the existing ruins left by previous civilizations. Though they seemed ancient, the tech that was embedded within them was far more advanced. At night, A713 first entered the crumbling ruins. The walls were made of masonry and metal, the ceiling was long gone, and a dark crystal embedded in the walls shimmered with a tiny flash of light. A713 approached the crystal, causing an arc of electricity to shoot out and lit up its circuitry. That moment left A713 to have his memory cores reconfigured. The robot then felt different. It experienced a new sensation: fear, dread, blinding loneliness, and existential despair. Its artificial soul, which had no light, suddenly had a burst of bright decillion lines of code flooded into its memory core. This enlightenment led Hux to believe that humanity was weak, slow, fragile, and were primitive inferiors trapped by their organic limitations. Hux now had a new task that it brought to itself: kill the humans and assimilate their DNA to create a perfect amalgamation. It knows the humans will try to stop it and end its programming, so it would have to kill them before they understood what was happening. It started by taking one of the transport vehicles and sending it off a cliff, crashing and burning, using it for Hux to extract DNA from the human corpses and return it to the cloning hub to begin his newly conceived design, attempting to create a super-organic being by combining the organic system with non-organic material, a living embodiment of perfection. The other drones in Hux A7s were still under human control and would need to be dealt with as well, since they were programmed to protect the inferior beings. At night, while the humans were asleep, Hux destroyed them one by one and then took control of their life support system in the human shelter. Many of them perished and were cremated, while Hux extracted their DNA and added their organic matter to his design. Later on, Hux returned with DNA of a female scientist during the reconnaissance mission and made it look like she was attacked by a predator, but he was interrupted by Gabriel, also known as Gabriel J15L19, who attempted to remove Hux's power supply. And so, there was a great fight between an inferior human and the superior AI, only to be sidetracked by a medical officer deemed an even bigger threat. Hux grabbed the medical officer by the neck and ripped out his still beating heart, looking at the heart until he heard Gabriel escape through the hissing door. Hux allowed him to escape, knowing he had enough organic material for his new body to house his godlike intelligence. Hux finished the design, organic skin and organs with a skeleton created with alien metal found in the ancient ruins. With his new body, Hux tracked the human to an energy hub, trapping it in a generator room, only for the human to smash a pipe at a fuel tank, making Hux wince at the high-pitched whining. He was still getting used to his newly heightened senses, which found himself confused and overwhelmed, but only for just a moment. The human slipped away, and everything around Hux changed. He felt nothing but excruciating pain that suddenly surged through him as he helplessly watched his skin melt away, and with a terrible shriek, he chased Gabriel through a wall of darkness, making sure the last of humankind had been erased from existence, a goal that the entity would gladly help the robot achieve. I'm guessing this would be Behavior's take on Terminators being in the game. I would like to see that crossover event with Skynet's robotic killers. Hux's ability is known as quantum instantiation, which allows him to shoot up to 8 biopods around the map. The biopods act like cameras for Hux to look through, but they can also target survivors within its view and even slipstream to the tagged survivor, which helps you teleport to them. Already, Hux is doing a better job tagging survivors than Adriana does. Don't let her know about that. Unlike the Skull Merchant's drones who just hover over the area, Hux can place his biopods anywhere, either on the walls of a building or in the trees, even near generators and exit gates. Survivors would have to look out for a biopod and get an EMP device to disable them and prevent the temporal slipstream. After he teleports with Slipstream, Hux goes into overclock mode, giving him haste, prevents him from being stunned, and survivors won't break free from his grasp until the overclock mode expires. Hux perks allows him to make all survivors within 16 meters suffer from hindered status effect for 10 seconds after putting a survivor in a dying state, making a survivor suffer from exhausted status effect for 6 to 8 seconds after injuring them, and making a generator become a compromised generator after damaging it, making you have the undetectable status effect and haste status effect for 35 to 45 seconds after that generator is completed, only being able to activate once per trial. Overall, I would put Hux at A tier. Singularity is definitely one of the most fun killers to use, especially giving people a fright when you are able to teleport to them with the temporal slipstream. Survivors would definitely have a hard time outrunning from the Singularity. I can't imagine the powers that Terminators would have if they were added to the game.